closed, I will proceed through the rest of the agenda this evening. Mr. White?
Thank you, Ab. Mayor and Council, this ordinance is a proposed amendment that was initiated by a property owner, Tommy Saul, the Southeastern Group, for the Kroger site, and they asked to change the C2 zoning district permissions to allow auto parts and tire stores as a permitted use in the C2 district. The modified recommendation of staff and the recommendation of the Planning Commission is that we change the ordinance to allow auto parts stores with no services, no automobile services associated with it, and not to allow tire stores, continue to have tire stores as a prohibited use in the C2 zoning district. The language of the ordinance before you has still got a few issues. It doesn't appear that that change was made, but we've got a version. Sometimes we get caught between different versions and stuff, and this is not the right one. This actually says mixed-use district at the top, and that's not right either. But that's the recommendation of planning staff and Planning Commission. My initial recommendation was to approve it as submitted, but I admittedly backpedaled as soon as we got into the Planning Commission meeting and talked about the idea of having tires, tire display and tire service, and that was not in, would not appear to be in keeping with the city's plan for keeping the 53 corridor not an auto-related corridor. So that's the staff and Planning Commission recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Watts. Does anyone wish to speak to this matter? If so, raise your hand. I did see one person signed up to speak, but if they don't want to, that's fine. All right. Seeing no hands, do y'all have any questions for anyone? All right, then I will close the public hearing, and that concludes our public hearing agenda.
I would just like to make one comment to Dr. White. Your minutes that you provided from the Planning and Zoning are exceptional, and I thank you very much for doing that. Okay, we are now moving to the work session. Is there a motion on the table for this agenda's approval?
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Scott. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dave. All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Okay, reports by mayor, council, and staff. Jennifer, I'm going to go ahead and start with you and your team.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to go ahead and, thank you, Mayor. I'm going to go ahead and start with our team. I'm thankful that they're here tonight. These are some of our department heads that are here, and we're going to start with Chief Hill.
Is the mic on?
There is no mic.
And if you could move the podium in just a little bit so that the camera picks up on.
No, this way, towards us.
In this way.
Into the middle. Thank you, yes.
Is that better?
Yes, we'll for sure see you now.
Now they're gonna see the back of my head where the rolls are.
Turn around, look at the camera.
Smile.
Okay. So I really don't need this mic, but I know we need it for online. So the police department has been busy. So since the first of the year, we have answered 2,280 calls for service. And last month, we wrote 136 citations, traffic citations. We will have court again here on October the 17th. For public relations, Officer Emerson has been teaching some fraud classes. We just called a couple over to Azalea. He's doing a good job doing that. So if anybody in any of the neighborhoods want fraud classes or anything like that taught, we'll be glad to do that for you. Just give us a shout. He's got a good presentation. As far as me, I've been attending several public safety meetings throughout the county to see where our county needs to grow and what we need to do. We also attended a hometown hero luncheon that was provided by the Chamber of Commerce for all of the public safety in the county. That's about all I got. Oh, and we attended the groundbreaking ceremony for Kroger. That's gonna be a big deal here in the city.
Didn't you also respond to the incident in, Barrow?
I did, so I responded, even though that was this month, so it didn't get put on the,
Oh, I'm sorry.
September, no, that's fine. I did respond, myself and Brownston, and several from Jackson County and Jefferson Commerce did respond to Appalachia, that tragedy the other day. I never thought when I got up and, went to breakfast and then was sitting in my office, I'd get a page to respond to something like that, but, thankfully, there's a lot of good public safety workers in Jackson County. We all got there fairly quickly, and I'm glad we were able to help out, Barrow County and the public safety first responders and the kids there. That was a tragedy, and I hope I never have to do it again. I've been doing this 23 years, and I never thought I'd have to respond to one of those, but, unfortunately, we have, and we can just learn from it, and hopefully, work better from here to provide safety to our kids and the citizens.
I'd also like to mention on that, situation, that the Commissioner of Barrow County reached out to me today and wanted to thank me and send her thank yous to Howard Police Department and our fire department being there so quickly and responding and working and helping with the children. She personally wanted me to thank you.
Excellent.
And I have called Chief Stevens and already let him know that too.
All right. Tiffany, our finance director, she is going to be part of our agenda. So when we get to that part, she'll give hers. I will tell you this, that we are working on the budget, and so she is staying very, very busy with that to get that to y'all pretty quickly. Our next one is our water and our public works supervisor. He's over all roads, anything to do with public works and our water. So Jamie, if you will.
My name is Jamie Wheeler. I'm new to the city, been here about a month. Took over Public Works Department. Over the past month, I've hired 2 new employees to help out since we're taking on a bigger role with the collection and distribution system, which is the pump stations, all the water mains and meters that get installed, as well as Public Works Department roads and stormwater. Couple of things we did this month, which EMI helped out a lot with setting that up.
Can you speak up a little bit? I'm sorry. It's on. Yeah, just
Okay.
put your mouth
Yeah.
closer. There you go.
One of the main things, we met with Sunbelt Paving for West Broad Street right here, about to get it redone, hopefully before October 1st, before the festival comes, which is what they said they would do for us. So that'll be brand new road, striping, et cetera. Trying to think what. One thing we did, I know, been having a lot of power outages in the area, where Georgia Power goes. So my guys went around to any overhanging limbs, stretched out over the power lines through the city, mostly the older areas, and made up a list, and we got it to Jennifer to get it to Georgia Power, so they can come out and take care of that. So hopefully no more outages that will affect people. One of the main things, I reached out to West Jackson Fire Department as far as there's a bunch of hydrants that have been painted black. That means they can't get them open in certain areas. So out of the 14, we have fixed 6 so far, and all 6 of them were in Brighton Park. We still have 3 over there to fix. Hopefully next month, every one of them will be fixed and back in service. Also got the approval on the septic tank for the new Public Works building, so they can go ahead and get it up and going. As far as stormwater goes, met with several HOA presidents in the area as far as maintaining the ponds, getting them clean so they function and work the way they're supposed to.
Thank you.
Any questions?
questions?
Mayor, I'd like to make a comment, if I may.
Yes.
Jamie's fairly, like he said, he's fairly new to our organization, and this man has stepped up beyond. Give you an example, we've got a we're trying to bring a water tower on, and a booster pump just, I think it was last night. I don't know why he's not home asleep.
He's dedicated.
He was up to about here in 5 foot of water, fixing that booster pump, making sure that we stay on schedule and get that going. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was there till like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Then he comes in and starts off at 8, and I was really proud of Tiffany because she's not getting any overtime on this one, so we saved the city some money. But he's really stepped up. All the meetings that we've had about sewer and water and so forth, he's been there. He's jumping in both feet, literally. So you can be really proud of what the job he's done in taking over. He's helped me a lot.
Thank you, Dave. Jennifer, back to you.
All right, I do appreciate, such a great team. A couple things I did have, and mine and Jamie, does kind of, Jamie and I, our reports do kind of intertwine. But we are having the groundbreaking for Kroger, that took place just a few weeks ago. Our mayor did a great job of, hosting for the city of Houston and welcoming them in with, open arms. They will be open winter 2025. Also, if you would like to join the mayor again, October the 9th at 6:30 a.m., she's doing the opening for the Publix store. Again, that's October the 9th. It's on a Wednesday. That's their tradition. And then they immediately open the store as soon as the mayor.
What time was that again?
6:30. When I had sent that to her, she said, "Do you mean 6:30 p.m.?" I said, "No, it's a.m."
It is a.m.
So, me and the mayor have been working hard with the rest of the council to have a master traffic plan. We're seeing that prosper. We're excited about that. That will be something that you will see more of next year.
That actually went to Rome, Georgia for the state approval today.
Yes,
I haven't heard it passed. Did
I
you
have
hear?
not heard yet.
Okay, thank you.
Also, myself and the finance director, Tiffany, met with our tax commissioner to discuss the future growth for the, within the city, and she gave us a lot of great feedback. And we were thankful that she was able to meet with us for a couple of hours. And we also attended the Hometown Hero, myself, a couple of the staff members, and council members to honor all of our public safety personnel in Jackson County. Oh, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, I want you to.
Fall Festival.
Oh, that was.
Okay. This is our 50th year. We're excited. This is going to be the biggest by far. So we want everybody to come October the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. And we're very excited. The staff has worked super hard on it. So we hope everybody will come and enjoy it.
You want to give a quick little update regarding the work that Jamie did last night on the booster pump? And go ahead and what we
Yes.
talked about earlier, please.
So, so all the work that Jamie has put in from last night, and as Councilmember Brown said, he was there from 9 to about 1:30 in the morning. That gives us access to get that booster pump in. It's supposed to be delivered next week. When that booster pump gets installed, we will have our new tank active, and we are hoping to have that online in November. That is a great success for the city of Houston to get that online. So we're excited about that.
Thank you. Did you want to talk about any of you stuff or no?
I can. And we apologize that Hugh's not able to be here tonight. For the month of August, he had 42 permits issued, 31 were for the single-family residents. 690 inspections were completed. That's about 83% had passed. Later this month, the certificate of occupancy will likely be issued for Publix, which he did do that this week. And he had several code enforcements that he took care of for the month of August.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Scott, I'm gonna go around the table. Any updates from you?
Other than spend a lot of time on the gala, which is coming quickly. Christine Moody, can you stand up real quick or raise your hand? Raise your hand. She's kind of the head of it all and has headed it up. It's a week from Saturday. It's going fairly well. Hoping to see a lot more people last minute get in there, get in the faces. It's turning into a lot more of the businesses are getting involved, small local businesses, which is really awesome. We've been knocking on a lot of doors, seeing a lot of businesses. So that's pretty much what the whole focus has been. There's a few other things we're working on the economic side. We're
Thank
not
you,
ready
Scott.
to launch those now.
Any questions for Scott? No? Dr. Sterling, do you have any updates you'd like to share?
No.
Could I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Did you go on, you went on the Meals on Wheels delivery, right?
Yes, I did that, and I'm going, next Thursday, the 19th. I'm going and doing it myself. Yeah.
I'll go with you if you need
Okay.
company.
Okay.
Do you know if the people that are receiving these have to pay for these?
I don't. I'm in touch with someone by the name of Stephanie. In working on all of this, I got a list of people from Azalea Village right here in Houston
Mm-hmm.
that are in need. So I have that list. So when I go next Thursday, I'm going to give her that list and ask her what do these people need to do in order to get on the route, because they go there, but they only delivered one meal there the week that I
Oh,
went with them. So hopefully all these people will be able to be added to that list. And if you know of any senior citizen in the Houston area that needs a meal delivered, please let me know.
thank you, Dr. Sterling.
You're welcome.
Tina?
I don't really have any updates other than what's coming later in the
Okay.
agenda.
Okay, thank you. Dave?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I've got exciting news and I've got some sad news. A team of Tiffany, Dr. Weiss, myself, and we had Mark Koyman on our team, who unfortunately last Wednesday passed away of a incident. So, we're gonna miss him greatly. He was a big asset to the team, ran a lot of the numbers that allowed us to get the tax revenue dollars, and his services that he provided were very valuable. It won't slow us down. We've got most of those numbers done, thanks to Dr. Weiss and Tiffany, and we're moving forward. We now have all the revenue data. It's been charted. We know how much the potential is in terms of what our total value is at the 40% level, and once we get the millage set out and all that, we'll be able to calculate exactly what we will be getting for the next 5, 10, and 15 years. Tiffany and I have now started to work on gaining the rest of the revenues that we're getting, and we've also got every department set up now based upon what the departmental heads have asked for in terms of what their actual cost will be per individual and per department. Then after we get that done, we will be going and getting new developments and project costs, and we'll lay that into the plan. And we should be able to plot a line, and hopefully the line of revenue stays slightly above the line of cost. So we'll see where we're at then.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make one more comment about Mark Koyman. He also helped the county do all their surveys. If you recall, last fall, I believe it was, there was a big survey out that he did. He was going to help, he's helped the city of Houston do them, and for me, he'll be greatly missed. Okay, mayor updates. First of all, I neglected to say in the beginning, I see some new faces here. Welcome to those of you. So glad that you found the time to come. I hope you continue to come. I'd also like to welcome our out-of-state guest. She's sitting back there in the brown. By the way, that's my sister. If you want details on me, you could go and ask her after the meeting. Raise your hand there. Anyway, I'd just like to welcome you. I attended the inaugural Mayor's Leadership Academy in Athens 2 weeks ago. It was a 2.5-day course. Mayor of Jefferson and I were the ones that attended from Jackson County. It was pretty good. The best part about it, there was two parts, and it was extremely timely. They taught us what we do in a crisis, and it turned out the following week we actually had one. And so I was unaware of all of the advantages we could take from GMA if we are ever in a crisis, whether it's a school shooting, a police-involved shooting, some other tragedy. I'm really grateful to have learned that. The second thing I learned was we are not the only city in this state that has concerns about water and sewer. In fact, every single mayor that I spoke to, from here to all the way to Savannah, has the same concern and same infrastructure issues. So that was nice to know we're not alone. And Jerry Hood's name came up quite a bit, by the way, helping them with their water and sewer. So I think that's it for me. Any other comments or questions? All right. Beautiful. Let's go into old business, ordinance TA-2024-04. I'm going to turn this over to Dr. White.
Mayor and council, this matter was tabled before, and then the council elected to, rather than withdraw it, to remand it back to the planning commission for further study. And so we did that. We spoke with the planning commission, and they agreed to give me some liberty to bring back an ordinance that met various objectives and things that we discussed. And so we have a new ordinance, and it has been reviewed by the city attorney. We don't have exact approval by the city attorney at this point. There's still a few issues. I don't think they're huge issues. We only have until Tuesday before your voting session. I'm not sure that we may make an effort to finalize that and bring it back to you, but it may be also that we recommend on Tuesday night that you table it to give us a little more time to work out a few particulars of it. But let me summarize a few things about it that are new. The basic idea behind this is it would add a new section 808 to the zoning ordinance having to do with how long projects zoning cases would be approved for. And the concern really is that we don't want to allow rampant land speculation, that is, upzoning property and then with no intent to do anything with it until someone might want to buy it from the owner for profit. So we basically are looking at trying to define what does it mean to commence a development project, what does it mean to have substantial progress, both of which are defined in the ordinance now. What this ordinance would allow us to do, it would not require you to do this, but if you have a rezoning application or some other conditional use project, permit project, if you want to ask for a schedule that sets out when they will commence, when they are likely to be complete, we can ask for that. And the ordinance, if we adopt it, would be clear that that's within our purview to ask an applicant to be specific on that and set out a schedule. Then what the ordinance also does is it allows for extensions by way of the city council. If an applicant could not meet the schedule that they set out, they could propose to amend that schedule. And this is a little vague in this ordinance. It doesn't say absolutely it goes to council, but that's something that we have to fix here. Extensions would be approved by the city council for good cause. And then there's standards for why would we grant an extension, and we've listed several pretty objective factors that would let you know that this may be cause for an extension of the schedule. Then finally, the ordinance addresses a lapse of project schedule and basically says that if you had a schedule that was approved by the city council and you have not met it and you've not asked for an extension, then we start a process where we bring that applicant applicant and application back to the city council, and we consider whether that schedule should be extended, and we allow the applicant to argue for that. And then if there are no good reasons for extending it, then the city council could initiate a process that basically zones the property back to its original zoning category. This would not, it's proposed not to apply to anything until September 17th, 2024 or after. So it would not have any retroactivity to it. And then finally, there would be monitoring by the zoning administrator of any schedules that were approved, and then it would be up to the zoning administrator to inform the applicant and the city council that the schedule has not been accomplished and what's needed to do to proceed with that. So that's what I have on this ordinance. The City Planning Commission, as I said, had asked that, had given me the authority to basically write up this ordinance and see if we could get it on the docket for city council to consider. So that's where we are.
Council, any discussion, any questions for Dr. White? Okay.
I did want to speak to that.
Yes, of course, I'm sorry, I should ask you.
The two issues that Jerry and I have talked about but haven't come to a conclusion on are, this is not a mandatory requirement on every rezoning, conditional use or variance, but gives the mayor and council the authority to put a schedule on such a decision. And so Jerry and I told Jerry I thought maybe we should try to include some objective criteria in the ordinance for when we would impose a schedule, or what factors we would consider and whether to impose a schedule. And then the second thing was whether if we got a request to alter the schedule, say in 18 months later or 30 months later, depending on, something happening, whether we would send it back to a public hearing process or not. So those are the two issues that Jerry and I may need to kick around. And so as I see it, the options would be for Jerry and I to try to hustle up and do that between now and Tuesday. The second option would be for y'all to table it to a future city council meeting and give us a little more time. The third option would be to send it back to planning and zoning and let them kick it around a little bit and it come back up. I guess a fourth option would be for y'all to say, we don't agree with you, we're passing it as it is. But so those would be the four options as I see it for y'all on Tuesday.
Okay, so we'll.
And I want to say that, when this came up the last time, I said, I don't know about this, and Jerry took it back to planning and zoning, and you mentioned minutes that he took earlier, Madam Mayor, and they really put some time and energy and effort and thought into coming up with something that addressed some concerns I'd raised, and so I think we're almost there. And Jerry also went out and found not exactly the same, but similar ordinances in like 4 other cities and 3 counties. So there's been a lot of work put into this, and so we're getting close to something that I think would be good for the city.
Okay, great. Thank you for your efforts on that too, Jerry.
Mayor, I'd like to make a suggestion or a comment. I think what the planning and zoning team did under Dr. Weiss is excellent, really good. From a planning standpoint of planning our future city, it's mandatory we have stuff like this, as you well know. And I really believe that between where Dr. Weiss is right now and where our legal team is right now, that if we table this or look at tabling it next week, let them get together and look at that, I think we'll be well on our way to a better ordinance for our city. So I'd like to suggest that we go that direction.
Well, we'll see next week. We'll see what
Okay.
they can get done. All right, everyone, we are gonna go to new business. This is, final plat, Twin Lakes Phase 11A. Dr. Jerry Weiss, back to you, please.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this final plat is for 94 lots on 33 acres. There are public streets involved in it, 4.24 acres of public street right-of-ways. We have quite a bit of new almost every month, we're adding to the city's, infrastructure, if we'll call it that, the public streets, new water lines, new sewer lines, all of which are dedicated, to be dedicated to the city, if you approve this final plat. The planning staff recommendation is approval. We don't say that because we wouldn't put it on the agenda if we didn't think they were ready. And as usual, it's a very, complex and cumbersome process for, subdivider to get everything right, and we usually take a little bit of liberty if they're shy, say 87 or 90% of the way. We'll put them on the agenda because it's a lot of consternation we cause if we delay something for 30 days. And so in this case, I believe they've got everything that they need, although there are two important players besides me in reviewing these plats. One is the city engineer, Jerry Hood, and his team, and they must sign the plat, okay? And so remember that the mayor signs the plat, the zoning administrator signs it, the city engineer, Jerry Hood, signs it, and none of us will sign it unless everything is right. But we have to make sure, we usually like to clear the hurdle with the city council. And then if there's some loose ends, so to speak, we make sure that those are done, and we just don't sign the plat. None of us will sign the plat unless that's done. And so I understand that, and thank you again to Jamie. He got a lot of compliments already, and we're dependent on him to be our field person to check things like this, which we've really understaffed in past months and years. And so there's been good hard checks of what's out there. Do they have their signs, signs according to the Uniform Manual for Traffic Control? Do they have their striping in? Do all the curbs look good? Is the pavement right? Has the report on compaction tests been reviewed and okayed? And so we're at that stage where we're pretty close to it, close enough to ask the council to approve it on Tuesday night. And in the meantime, we'll have, excuse me, any loose ends on the part of the city engineer or public works director, we'll get those worked out. If for whatever reason they are not comfortable, we will ask then that you table it, but we think that we won't need to be at that stage.
Council, any comments or questions? I already brought up my questions to Dr. Jerry. I'm sure he will pass them over to our Public Works Director. I don't have any either, so I'll go ahead and move on.
Next item, Mayor, if you want me to address it. The next item is Resolution 2439. This is adopting the annual update of the comprehensive plan. This includes a community work program and also an update to the capital improvements element. You may remember over the last couple of months, there's been some changes to that recommended where we asked for a reduction in level of service on both the amount of acreage for parks and open space, and then also for the public, the police, the law enforcement, and so forth. And so we have received word from the Northeast Georgia Regional Commission and the Georgia Department of Community Affairs that these are acceptable, that they meet the standards. And so this is the amendment. This is to resolve to adopt that annual amendment, annual update. And if you do that on Tuesday, then we'll republish the comprehensive plan. And it will be good for a year, but then we're going to be right back in the soup again with a 5-year update. And we will need to talk, I think I owe a conversation with the mayor about how we might want to approach that, and also with the Planning Commission as well. But we've got a committee to establish a schedule, which we cannot afford to mess around with that for a month, even a month or two, because time goes by so fast. So we'll be doing a 5-year update at a later time, and you'll see some things regularly on the agenda regarding that. So staff recommendation is to approve the annual update of the comprehensive plan.
Council, any questions or comments? Well,
Okay.
I reviewed this, as I already told Dr. White, thoroughly, and I couldn't come up with one question either, so, job well done.
Thank you. The next one is also a planning-related item, Resolution 2440. You'll remember that this has been hanging around for months now, too, and I apologize for that. I had you and the Planning Commission both agreed in concept to changes that we needed to make to the future land use plan, which had not been updated since February of 2021. And what I ran into was just not enough comfort level to have this go out for regional and state review, because our map, as you know, the county prepares our GIS maps, and it took a good while to update the city of Houston's base map because of all that, we've added hundreds and hundreds of lots, and look at the difference between the maps now, and you see how Twin Lakes has pretty almost entirely filled in. We're still not done with it, but it's filled in a great deal, and we've annexed, shown annexations and so forth. So what this resolution will do is you'll authorize again, even though you've already done it. I wanted to make sure you had another chance to look at it. It's not adoption of it, it's to send it for review by the region and the state. And they have the opportunity to come back and say we did something wrong, or give us advice on how to do it. And you'll see this again when we get, if you approve this if you resolve to transmit it for review, we'll get the comments, bring it back, and then we'll ask for adoption of the amended land use plan, probably in another 60 days would be my guess.
Council, any comments or questions? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Again, job well done.
Thank you.
We're moving on to new business item 4. This is the EMI proposal, groundwork and wastewater management services. Jerry Hood, may I ask you to speak to this one?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Mayor and Council. In your package, you have a proposal by Engineering Management, EMI. Basically would put EMI in charge of being the operator of record, OOR, on the water and wastewater system. We'll be providing Class 1 water, Class 1 wastewater operators to work with your staff, keeping things in compliance and doing monthly reports and signing off on those. This would, if this council approves it, this is our third time to do this. We work in a lot of communities where some of the personnel departs and you are left without a Class 1 operator or an operator of record. We're familiar with your system. It's actually our third time to do this, and we will operate in this fashion if the council approves it, as long as you want us to, or as short as you want to. If you hire somebody, come along in a month, we'll leave and turn that over to your own staff, or we'll stay here as long as you want us. We have about 16 certified operators, so we have the ability to rotate people in and out if we really need to. We will have at least 2 people that will be working with the city staff that are Class 1 operators, and they will be assigned to Houston. I have continuity there. I guess another benefit to working with us, we have engineers on board as well that are familiar with water and wastewater, and we have our own certified lab in Jefferson that can assist with lab testing for both water and wastewater. We have another division in Alto, Georgia, that actually we have electricians and plumbers, and we have a boom truck. We can pull up to 150 horsepower pump out of station, so we can provide those kind of backup service if you need that. But
Did you say this is the third time? Is that for Houston?
Since 2013, yes, ma'am.
I didn't know that. Any questions for Jerry Hood?
No.
All right. Thank you. We are gonna move on to new business item number 5. This is the millage rate rollback. I'm gonna have our finance director speak to this. Tiffany, you wanna come up? And we'll have to do the podium again, so come on, chief. There you go. Yeah, put it right there. They can't see you from there. There you go. Keep going.
They know I do not like public speaking, so this is torture, just FYI.
No, you're doing fine. You want to face the audience? Okay.
Okay, so, Mayor and Council, this year's, Candace with the Tax Commissioner's Office got us this year's millage numbers. As Jennifer stated, we are in the process of getting the budget done, and hopefully that will be to y'all on next month's agenda. In talking to Candace, talking to Jennifer, and looking at preliminary numbers, we're currently at 2.954 for, this year's millage, which should bring us in a little over $1 million. I think currently, I looked it up for Dave earlier, we're about $15,000 shy of that, which it'll keep coming in till the end of the year. It's my suggestion to take the rollback, or my recommendation, of 2.714, just based on the growth alone, the preliminary numbers of the budget. I didn't feel like we needed an increase this year. So if all is collected next year, that should bring in a little over 1.3 million.
Great. I feel like we should give Tiffany an applause. Thank you, Tiffany.
You're welcome.
Council, Council, any questions for Tiffany? I know, I want to keep her up there longer.
Next time, I'll just have Ty bring it to me.
Okay, you can. Tiffany, can you stay for a moment? You want to go ahead and talk about, new business item number 6? This is the, trunk or treat? Just keep her up here longer.
I mean, I guess I could have went off the agenda. Okay, can I lump the next 3 together, 6, 7, and 8, or do we have to do them individually?
Let's see. Sure, it's okay with me.
I mean, I'll
It's the
touch
same road.
briefly on each one, yeah.
Yeah.
So these are just resolutions for the remaining events that we have coming up, for the rest of the year. The first one being Fall Festival, as she said, October 4th, 5th, and 6th, which we will close City Square, Bell Avenue, and the Depot. And for Brad Hill, to park his camper. The next being Trunk or Treat, which is October 25th, I believe. It will be the entire City Square Street. So if y'all want to come out to that from 6 to 9. And the last being the Houston Holiday Market. We are hoping to have it outside this year, in which we'll close down the entire City Square Street, just that evening on November 25th, after lunchtime till about 10.
Council, please, do you have questions for Tiffany? Thank you, Tiffany. Chief Hill, could you move that? Thank you. All right, new business, item number 9, this is resolution 2024-44. Everybody can hear you talking, your mics Certified City of Ethics renewal, Jennifer, would you like to speak to this?
This is actually James as well.
Jen, would you like to speak to this?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
So Mayor, the city of Houston has participated in the, Georgia Municipal Association's Certified City of Ethics program for many years. And so that every 4 years, there's just a process to renew. And basically it's, the initial people who started this for the city of Houston aren't sitting here at the table. So this is just a way for council members to, pledge to behave ethically in the city. So there are several, I think 5 here, guiding principles, that everyone will pledge to abide by. And then we'll submit this to the state, and we'll be recertified as the City of Ethics.
Making this a nice little frame.
Yeah, I was reading the 5. I think that's really great. Council, any questions? Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
Actually, Jen, amendment to personnel policy,
Yes.
Item number 10, would you like to speak to that?
Yes, ma'am. So we've had some changes in personnel, recently. People have moved departments. We've gained some new employees. So along with that, we've looked at the on-call policy. So there's always an employee on call to handle any emergencies that might come up. Also checking on, things at the wastewater treatment plant, performing routine tests, things like that have to take place over the weekend or just during the week as needed. So in looking at the current staff that we have who are capable and qualified to handle some of those duties, we realized that there needed to be a change to the on-call policy regarding the distance that's allowed for an employee to take a City of Houston vehicle home. I think previously, we just allowed that within a 30-mile radius, but we see the need to extend that to 50 miles just to have the coverage that we need to staff the city for the on-call purposes. So that's the proposed change.
Thank you, Jen.
Mhm.
Council, any questions for Jen? Okay. Good, Jen. She doesn't like the mic either, by the way, but she did great. Okay, new business, item 11, this is a special events alcohol permits for Fall Festival for Costa Rica, Sliced, and the Depot by Four Brothers. Any questions about this one or comments? Okay. Okay, new business, item number 12, proclamation, Houston Reads Day. I am making a proclamation that, the date is September 30th, thank you, is Houston Reads Day. Go to the school, volunteer to read, go anywhere, volunteer to read to the children. I did fail to mention that when I was at the Mayor's Leadership Academy, I signed up for what's called Mayor's Reading Club. It's a fantastic program. They gave me a ton of books and paints and art for me to take to the school and work with the children. Dr. Sterling is already working on arrangements previous to me even getting this information for us to go to the school and do this, correct? Still working on that?
Yes, I am. And I just wanted to add, I'm glad you said you signed yourself up because I was going to do it again. But I ordered 2 books, and those books teach about city council and how the council works. And so with this resolution that you have, my plan is to go into the school, talk to a counselor or administrator about, 5th grade classes, learning more about, city government, possibly, having a field trip, come, and talk to you.
Yes.
Yeah. My appointment is next week, So I want to tie in what, you, did at the leadership and what I'm doing, same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. I'd love to show you all that, data and paperwork and
Okay.
books that they gave me.
Okay.
It's fascinating.
Okay.
Anyway, so, council, any questions about this? Okay, new business, item 13. Dr. Jerry White, I'm gonna bounce this back to you, please.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and Council. I prepared a memo that summarizes a report that was done by consultants for the Georgia Department of Transportation. It's called the Brazelton-Houston Area Mobility Study. It's a final report. It's a study. It's not a plan. It has not been adopted. It's not being asked to be adopted, but it will inform metropolitan planning organization efforts and also state budgets. And so it's a pretty important report. I'm not going to go over exactly what it has in there, but this is the answer, the long-awaited answer to how the region is going to deal with traffic issues, especially 53, State Route 53. And so I think what I want you to know is that this is, again, a study. It's not to be adopted, but the county, Jackson County, is engaged in a 5-year update of their 2019 transportation plan, which will consider this, I'm sure, in greater detail. And then, as was discussed earlier, I think the city has obtained funds for its own transportation planning, and that will interchange with the update of the comprehensive plan, and all of this can be considered at this time. But having a new planning and zoning commission, one factor was also to try and keep them abreast of what planning issues are and have them begin to engage in some of the discussions about what's needed, what our problems are. Again, I'm not going to go through the study, but if anybody has anything you question or you want me to go further, I'll be glad to, but I don't want to consume a lot of time trying to summarize what it says.
Council, questions? Say again? All right, new business, item 14. This, we wanted to have a discussion with the public, with citizens, on Mulberry Park, so you know where we're coming from, what we're dealing with, what we're going through about that park, and then obviously get some input. Who wants to start with an update? I mean, I'm happy to, you're happy to. Tina's not that happy to. Jennifer?
I'll be the guy.
If
I'm
you
the
want to,
guy.
I mean, I'll take the hit, it doesn't matter to me.
So, the Mulberry House, it needs a tremendous amount of work if we wanted to rehab it, making it ADA compliant. There are critters in it. We're talking soffit, fascia, insulation, all of the electrical, all of the plumbing, including moving a bathroom, adding a bathroom for ADA compliance. What else is there?
Does it have
Windows are
asbestos?
broken.
Asbestos?
There's no
Molds?
central HVAC. I'm sorry?
Was it mold too, and asbestos or anything
Yeah,
like that?
there's probably asbestos in the floor tile, as well as the external siding on the addition part of it. I have been through the house in detail with 2 separate contractors and with our city, inspector. And nobody would actually give me a full figure. But with all the things, I mean, ductwork, not just replacing HVAC, there's nothing there. It is not in our budget to rehab that house. So we were hopeful that Jackson County would want to take at least the core part of the house that was built around 1900 or 1905 and perhaps move it to the Hurricane Shoals area, because they have some historic homes there, and they were not interested. So we are investigating what it would cost to remove the house, to demolish the house and take it away. It's sad to lose a part of history, but it is, I mean, the numbers I'm getting are well into the 6 figures. several times over. It's just not feasible to rehab this house. So I just wanted to drop that. There would be a plan for the location of the house. I'd like to see the great giant magnolias next to it saved, some of the rock walls in a lot of the landscaping saved. It would make a really beautiful pavilion as part of the Mulberry Park project overall. And but we've got to do something with this house. It's unsafe. So that's where we're headed.
Great summary. Council, comments, questions? Where do we go from here? I mean, we've talked about this now for, I know of at least 2 years, probably longer. Nobody? Okay. We'll hear from citizens' comments, and we'll go from there. How about that? Okay. New business item 15, the parking deck. I had a fantastic meeting with some architects and some engineers. And we want to move forward. Let me back up a little bit. In order for us to ask Jerry Hood for soil testing, we need concept plans. We've got one, but I wanted to reach out and get other ideas. So now I'm current, met with engineers and architects about the parking deck, and they have some really great ideas. What they wanted to know are, city, what is your ideas? What do you want to see there? So we bounced a couple of ideas off of them. Some of them, they actually were really well received, that they hadn't thought of. So I wanted to open up the discussion to council. I'm not going to make the decision for the city. It's what we want to do for the city. So I wanted to open that up for discussion if you had input, comments, or questions.
Well, I have some input or some suggestions. Number one, as we grow and our current merchants, one thing that we're definitely hurting is parking space. So if nothing else, I would love to see additional parking so we can grow our current merchants and let them grow and bring more money to the city. The other thing is if we do build that kind of structure, you know, it'd be a great, if we could put that underground, because it is low, and then come in and on the first floor, that would be like the ground level, have some kind of shops or something, coffee shops or stuff like that. It would be, I would like to see something like that to help pump more money and more customers into the city for our current vendors.
I probably should have told you what I told them about what I think would be ideal there. Parking below, commercial, street level, and I would even be okay with high-end apartments on top, viewing what's going to be done with the Mulberry Park in the future. So that's what I've told this last consultant. Tina, did you want to make a comment? Oh, I thought you were going to. Scott or Fredria, any input also?
No.
Okay, we'll go to
Real quick,
Ab for
Miss
comment.
Mayor, real quick. Are you going to put a survey out once we get the couple different designs, let everybody see it?
Actually, there will become to council for us to review and approve.
Okay.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
All right, we've reached the time on the agenda for citizen input. If there's anyone here who wishes to address the mayor and council on any issue this evening, please raise your hand. I'd say 2 hands, so Mr. Butler, if you want to come up first, please get the mic from whomever's got it now, state your name, your address, whether you're a resident of the city of Houston, you'll have up to 5 minutes.
Uh-oh.
The most important thing that I wanted to talk about tonight was the Brazelton Houston mobility study. And I know Dr. White didn't want to talk about it and take up y'all's time with it, but I do. If you go to page 22
I'm assuming all of y'all have this document. You go to page 22.
What is that
chapter
document?
4.1.
What is that document that you have?
It's the Brazelton-Houston Mobility Study.
Okay.
And if you go to page 22 of chapter 4.1, for some reason, the folks in this study only have the Twin Lake and Crestwind subdivision as having 60 lots in it. So all of the data and conclusions that they then come to, I don't know about y'all, but in the medical world, if your baseline data is wrong, then your outcomes don't mean anything. So if this is off by a factor of 40 to 50. Has that been corrected?
No, we don't have that document.
Okay. I'll be happy to send it to you. So anyway, my point is, when you then get to all of these charts back here that label every intersection as D, F, A, B, C, D, these are all wrong by a factor of 40. This whole page should be red. Every intersection along 53 should be an F, because the numbers they used were grossly false. Do you want me to start over? My point is, on page 22, they only have 60 homes, and it should be 2,000 or more. And then therefore, every intersection that they have labeled as B, C, or not in need of immediate help is incorrect. And I'll be happy to put all this in an email to y'all with the study.
Where did you get that study? Did somebody email it to you, or?
So here's the thing.
Okay.
I was asked to be on the Jackson County Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee, and so I have been privileged to a lot of information. I assume that y'all got it. The gentleman that was here the other night for the transportation for the county, he was aware of it, he had it. So I just assumed, since y'all are the council members and the mayor of Houston, y'all got it also.
No, sir.
I'll send it to you tomorrow. But anyway, but the point is, they gave us information that y'all can use to make developers and landowners and builders put red lights in, like $360,000 for the one at, but anyway, they're all listed in here.
So, Mr. Butler, there's not, the Kinley property wouldn't be on there either, right?
Excuse me?
The Rockland Kinley property.
Oh, none of it is. So what's odd is, we had 4 representatives of Houston at the October 25th, 2022 meeting, and they asked those stakeholders for any plans for future development, and this is all they got: 60 for Twin Lakes and Crestwinds, 299 for Cambridge. Didn't know about Nunley Farms or Allen Farms. And then, so how'd that happen? I don't know. I wasn't. But the point is, we need to look at this with a skeptical eye when y'all do get it. I'm just saying, because the data's wrong. That was on October 25th of 2022. 4 months later, we had a retreat where we told everybody at the retreat we were building 5,900 homes. So Mr. Hood was at that retreat. Anyway, so I'm just saying, look at it with a skeptical eye. And then that's all I wanted to say. Until we talk, yeah, sure.
Can I ask you a question
Yeah.
about that? Does the data that you're finding in there affect what Dr. Weitz has put together in his study at all?
So, yes, because this study recommends option 4, which Dr. White showed you on the screen. Option 3 doesn't just 2-lane 60 extension from Interstate 85 to Highway 53. It then comes down Highway 53 and calls for the possibility of extending Highway 60 down Peachtree Road to 211, either as a 2-lane road or a 4-lane road.
Thank you.
And so then, and their total cost for all of that, $373 million, thanks to 5,900 new homes by developers who haven't been asked to pony up one dime for that. The other thing I'm going to say about the parking deck is I would encourage all, I've said this over and over again, go to Blue Ridge and see what people, not the city of Blue Ridge did. They got developers to build a parking deck, a 2-level parking deck. The front of it has dog food stores, pubs, barbecue joints, and the best Italian food I've ever eaten in my life. So, they're not gonna have grilled octopus. This place has the best octopus I've ever put in my mouth. But anyway, I would encourage y'all to, if nothing else, at least call them, find out who the developers were that did it, and talk to them about how they accomplished it, how it's going. I know Blue Ridge is different. They get 3,000 people a weekend to ride a train. We don't, but still, we're a city that's facing the kind of financial maintenance and operation budgets we're gonna have in a few years, and capital budgets. I would greatly encourage private development instead of the city to do it. Any other questions?
Thank you, Mr. Butler.
Thank you.
All right, sir, if you'll come up, state your name, your address, whether you're a resident of the city of Houston, you'll have up to 5 minutes.
A.C. Savito, 100 Powell Court. I am a resident of the city. 2 points. One, I know the city gets a lot of credit for forecasting the budget for next year. I only comment to that would be is please fully fund the police force, as Jackson County is short law enforcement officers, and we need to make sure we maintain our safety. And I think Brad does a great job, so I want to make sure he gets fully funded for whatever he needs. And I know you guys will do a great job doing that. My other concern tonight, with Publix opening in a few weeks.
6 a.m.
At 6 a.m.?
6:30.
Oh.
In the morning?
Thank you for correcting me.
You said in the morning?
So there have been 2 golf cart crossing paths identified in March in the last few weeks. I am concerned about the one on Peachtree. If you go from Chateau, Coulter is building the golf cart path to Peachtree. There is a gap of about 150 yards on the east side of Peachtree to where the Publix has done their part to make the golf cart path, but it's just dirt, there's nothing there. However, when you go to the crossing that Publix put in, it's from the other side of the road, and there's no way to get to the other side of the road because the sidewalk and the multi-use path that's on the Almont Farm side, there is no cut-in to get on there. It's just a regular curb, so I don't know. I'm concerned for safety because there's a lot of traffic, and I'm not sure why that multi-use path was on that side on the Almont Farms because there are no golf carts there. The 150-plus golf carts are on the other side of the road, so you're forcing the golf carts to go onto Peachtree, go partway up, and then cut onto the path when there's the middle, there's that gap. And I'm sure it was probably when Cresswin's was approved, nobody thought about it. It's probably the case, I'm guessing. But I'm just concerned it indicates, or it would lend itself to tell people, go across Peachtree, go up, then go back across Peachtree to get to Publix. And the golf cart crossing signs it's only at the crossing. There's no signs at 53 when you turn on to Peachtree to warn traffic or come in across the bridge from Barrow County to say, hey, there's golf carts that are going to be on Peachtree. And I know it's a cost. I understand that. But I think the cost is much greater if Chief Hill's got to go out there and investigate a golf cart accident that got run over by a construction truck because the traffic is just there. I think we should do that now. And on Cresswin's Parkway, the same thing. The golf cart warning signs are only at that crosswalk. They're not at the beginning when you come on. So nobody's going to know. And I believe that's a public road, that portion up to the beginning of the 55-plus community. So I'd ask the City Council, Public Works, maybe Chief Hill to look at that. Let's be proactive. Let's be safe before we have to, have something in the newspaper about a golf cart got hit by a dump truck. And I'm just very, very concerned. I mean, there's over 150 golf carts in that community, and they're going to be hitting that road. And we're only a few weeks out. So please take that into consideration. That's my comments.
Let me give you,
Yes.
let me give you some responses to that. First, I would like to tell you that Jennifer, myself, and I can't remember who else, are meeting with Coulter and Publix, September the 18th, to talk about, the golf cart path, or the life path, if you will, on the east side of Peachtree. So I just want to let you know that. Second, I want to, understand what you said. On Alma Farms, there is no entry to that golf cart path?
Oh, it's a regular curve. I take that back. I believe there is one for, pedestrian. There's not one wide enough
For a golf cart?
for a golf cart. And if you go out onto 53 and Cresswinds Avenue, and I don't know for sure, I'm assuming, and I know it's bad to assume, that there may be a golf cart crossing to go to Kroger's. The cutouts there are not wide enough for golf carts to go through as well. And I know that they just put those curbs in there not too long ago, a few weeks ago.
Yeah, actually, thank you for bringing that up. That reminds me, and Councilmember Dave will be at that meeting also, because he brought that up as well. So we're aware. I contacted with Jamie, our Public Works, about the curb there at Alma. Did I miss anything?
No, just want to be
Oh,
safe.
the signs.
Oh, yeah, the
Let's
golf,
take
yeah,
that.
I think it would be ideal up and down Peachtree. I mean, I know Chief Hill and his guys are diligent about trying to control traffic on Peachtree. And I know that, the family neighborhood is cutting through the 55-plus community as a shortcut. So I just get concerned. A lot of traffic.
Thank you, Ace.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else want to make a comment about that?
I know that, one of the people from Quail Crossing, Mr. Gruber, I think I'm saying his name right, he had reached out to me because I ran into him outside. So I'm actually sending you pictures because I know you went over there. There is some way to get up on it, but it's a sidewalk entrance. It's not, Ace is 100% correct. At both sides, they did not put a ramp on the golf cart path itself. It's very strange, so you'd have to go down, go on a sidewalk, drive your golf cart up onto there, so you go into their neighborhood, and then it's at the corner. I just sent you a picture.
Thank you.
And that's it for citizen comment, and I'm not asking for an executive session this evening.
I am also not asking for executive session. With that said, is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Dr. Sterling. Is there a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth?
I'll second.
Okay, meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Mayor, have you ever met Mr. Murdoch? He owns the Christian, hardware.
No, I'm gonna go meet him right now.